All right. Hi. How's everybody doing out there in podcast world and our Facebook Live people? Say hey, Tanya.
Hey, everybody out there.
Say Brandon. Say hi.
Hello.
Time for another episode of Things My Mother Never Told Me.
Mm.
We're going to do a special episode today. We wanted to, well, I did anyway, talk a little bit about Juneteenth since it's right around the corner,
Oh, yeah.
and it led me to start doing a little more research on it because, we all got uh, what we think it's about, what we heard it's about, and what we believe it's about. So I wanted to get a little more background on the holiday itself and see if we can share that with you. And also, if anybody out there has anything they want to say to us, feel free to type something in the comment section, and we'll try to get to you and answer your question.
Yeah, my mother never told me about Juneteenth.
She never did. That's right. Speaking of things my mother never told me,
Mm-hmm.
she never told me about Juneteenth.
I
So so everybody knows that it's Juneteenth is celebrates the what's known as Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Jubilee Day, and Emancipation Day. It's the celebration of, for lack of a better term, the last group of slaves finding out that they were free. But actually, it's worse than that. After the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863, everybody didn't hear about it. Everybody didn't get the
Twitter
word.
I can
wasn't
believe
nothing.
that.
Social media wasn't nothing.
Right.
Somebody standing on the corner. We's free. We's free.
That's right. That's
Or the
right.
Facebook.
And
And not only that, when they look, them masters didn't want the people to know that they were free.
and and, and that's the thing. And so what my research tells me is that some folks knew, but they wasn't trying to do nothing about it because there was nobody to enforce the proclamation. And so the folks down in Texas, first of all, a whole lot of people ran to Texas when they right before when the war was going on.
Yeah, like they were looking for gold.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy because they said they were trying to get away from all the fighting. So they went to Texas and they took their slaves with them to Texas, and they increased the population of Texas. It was crazy. That let me look at my notes here. By the time 1865, when they got to Texas with the word, it had went from about 1,000 or so slaves in down in Galveston and Houston, that it wound up being close to 250,000 slaves by the time of 1865. So that's a whole lot of people
Ooh,
that in 2 years' time strolled on down to Texas.
glad Texas is a big state.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Need the space.
right.
Need the
And
space.
so and so let me see. Let me read here. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862. It became effective on January 1st, 1863, and it declared that all. Now here's the rub right here. All enslaved persons in the Confederate States of America in rebellion and not in Union hands were freed. So it was kind of backhanded freedom because
I'll say.
the only slaves that were actually freed by that proclamation were the ones that were in the rebellion South. If you were in an area that wasn't part of that rebellion, your folks were still slaves.
That's right.
Yeah. And my shirt says, what did I say? Juneteenth,
Free-ish.
free-ish.
Oh, I know what ish means.
Free-ish. Free-ish. That means we round about free.
Right about free.
Something like free.
Yeah. Something like free. And so that's where the rub came in. And by the time the Union Army finally got down there, Mr. General Man read the proclamation at all. Let me see here. Because I got it wrote down. You know, when you want something, you can't get it.
Right.
Right. It's funny. Let's see. Okay, first, yeah. Major General Gordon Granger
Gordon Granger.
arrived in Galveston, Texas, and took command of the more than 2,000 federal troops recently landed in the Department of Texas to enforce the emancipation of its slaves and oversee a peaceful transition of power. And we heard peaceful transition of power most recently, didn't we?
Right, right. We know what that is.
Well, we know what that's about. That's about going down to the Capitol and making some noise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the crazy part. Now, remember that Lincoln freed the slaves in 1863. Ain't that what I said?
What you said.
Robert E. Lee did not surrender until 1865, April the 9th, at Appomattox. So that means that even though Lincoln issued his Emancipation Proclamation, the people in the South still wasn't really going for it because they still was fighting. So,
No, no, no.
right. So they, like, again, like we said earlier, they wasn't trying to make us free.
No.
And so finally, he goes down and reads this proclamation, and he also nullified all laws passed within Texas during the Confederate War by the Confederate lawmakers. So we was, again, free-ish. This is what the proclamation read. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights, and I'm going to say that again, an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. The connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. That's funny. The freedmen are advised, now here we go. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes
At their present home.
and work for wages. So you free,
Oh,
But you still got to stay there.
but stay where you at.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
is your job. You don't get to leave.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Not it's your job.
You-
And Mr. Master, sir, would you please start paying them folks that you, yeah,
Yeah.
Put them on payroll, please.
right. Now, watch this. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere.
Idleness.
Idleness. You free, but doggone it, you better do something while you free.
You better be doing
You
something.
better be doing something.
Thank you. Why, thank you. Oh,
So we free. It said it right there, we free. But you free to stay right where you at and hope that your former master gonna pay you a wage for doing the same work that you've been
I
doing.
was already doing. But
Like
nothing.
when I was reading, one of the ladies said she worked for her master 6 years after that.
Yeah,
And was still getting whooped and everything else.
yeah, yeah. Because you're still a slave.
Yeah.
Because
Names for real, but this little paper they done sent down to
yeah, it's in
the
this paper.
street. And we ain't hardly studying it
Right, and it sounds more like a suggestion
than any type of
than
law.
anything else,
And,
any
they-
law.
and like you say, they are not about to lose their labor.
Exactly.
Who gonna do it? You think the wife and her kids gonna do
Getting
it?
out there,
Yeah,
wasn't even.
right,
That's why I said it was a joke.
right. And so it was called Order Number 3.
Order number 3.
And it also says that the Galveston Historical Foundation in 2014 and the Texas Historical Commission erected a Juneteenth plaque at the Osterman building, which is where he was supposed to have read this initial decree. And it was also said that he went from place to place in Galveston reading the decree so that everybody couldn't say, you didn't have opportunity to hear.
about it,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like you on this point about the free-ish. Now, in Hayes Turner's essay, he said the 19th of June wasn't the exact day that the Negro was freed, but that that was the day that they told us that we was free.
Right, right. Well, right. That's the day. Because supposedly we
they
was
just told us we was
supposedly we was free 2 years ago. But on June 19th, they came and told, hey, in
By the
case y'all
way.
ain't heard, y'all free. Y'all free to stay right where you at
Don't you be
and
idle
keep
now.
doing the same work you doing right. Don't be idle. And don't come
That
to
ain't
the
gonna count.
and don't come to the military for no help.
I don't know. Like you said, that order number 3, it wasn't exactly no magic for them
Right.
250,000 slaves.
Right.
Right.
Everything wasn't
Right. Right. Now, here's something good. Although the Emancipation Proclamation declared an end to slavery in the Confederate States, it was still legal and practiced in two Union border states, Delaware and Kentucky. So even after 1863, slavery was still legal in Delaware and Kentucky and still being practiced until the end of 1865, when the 13th Amendment was ratified and it abolished chattel slavery nationwide. Additionally, and this is the part that I really wanted to talk about, Indian territories that had sided with the Confederacy, namely the Choctaw Indians, were the last to release those enslaved in 1866.
Some Indians had slaves too?
Yes, 1866.
The last group?
Right.
Wow.
So now
My
remember,
mouth open.
this say free-ish since 1865.
Yeah.
But in 1866, Indians still had slaves.
Like,
And so I want to segue.
I had to put something in my mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to slide off of this for a little bit because it's funny because the Choctaw Indians were part of a movement when the what do they call it, the road of misery, or the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears was when the United States went into various areas, territories in the southeastern part of the country, and took the Native American, I'm gonna say Native American, took the Native Americans' land from them, and forced them with these documents. Here we go, these documents again, to move to territories west. And the Choctaw Indians were one of those groups that went on the Trail of Tears. What I found out that really made me pause was that the Choctaw Indians and a couple other Indian tribes had slaves. And they were allowed to take their slaves with them when they left on the Trail of Tears. You know why that's important? Guess where they went? Oklahoma.
Oh.
Oklahoma Territory. That's where they went. That's where they sent them. And the area that they settled in is what became known as Tulsa, Oklahoma. So the reason why I found it interesting, I said I was going to put these two together, is that those Indians and those slaves of those Indians, the last ones to be freed, were the ancestors or the relatives, really, if you will, because they wasn't that long ago, of the people who were massacred at Black Wall Street. Yeah, that's who they were.
okay.
And so they got a raw deal all the way around. All the way around.
They had a little bit of freedom because that area was one of the wealthiest.
Yeah, because when they got there, they were sent there because they thought it was just wasted land, wasteful land,
Right.
of no value. And I should have wrote his name down, but there was a black man who, when they gave the land to the Native Americans, and they got whatever land they wanted, and what was left, the U.S. figured it was just barren land, so they let it go to whoever wanted to buy it. Well, there was this freedman who went in and bought a lot of the land up, and the land that he bought he reserved the land to sell only to freed slaves. He wouldn't sell it to anybody but them. And so then when the country started, spreading to the west, and they started finding oil in that area, they wound up not letting the black folks get the oil, but letting them work for the people who was drilling for the oil. And so, but when he built that property
I
up,
have to put some more stuff in my mouth.
yeah, he wound up selling the property to black folks, and they started establishing black businesses, and after not too long, Tulsa, Oklahoma became
Yeah, one of the
what we know as
wealthiest.
Black Wall Street, one of the wealthiest places in the country,
Mhm.
and we know what happened after that.
Yeah.
And so it just go to show you how.
Do they know what happened?
Well, if you heard the story of Black Wall Street and the Tulsa massacre, the white folks came in and they started killing, burning, shooting, stealing, and they sent airplanes. And this is the craziest thing in the world.
No, but they first of all,
Go for it.
it started with that young black boy
With the accusation,
with the accusation. Yes.
which it always starts with.
An accusation.
Yeah, we go back in
With-
history. We always find some young black boy supposed to say some white woman.
Said she assaulted this 17-year-old elevator operator. And he was a shiner.
Yeah,
And then they threw him in jail. Said they was, rumors got out that they was gonna lynch him.
right.
And the wealthy business, our black people who had a voice.
Well, the ones who some of them had actually were actually ex-military people who went down and they said they wasn't having it
Right.
because they said they actually was chasing them away from the jail area and they was trading gunfire all the way back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went into town looking for them,
Exactly.
and then they started burning stuff up, and
I mean, a whole 35 blocks
Right.
of stuff.
right, and the crazy part is that
Pictures
this is over 100 years ago, a
devastating.
little over 100 years ago. This was in
It's
in
devastating.
right. People were flying airplanes, throwing basically Molotov cocktails on buildings in that area, and burning everything to the ground, and the hundreds and hundreds of people, with thousands of people were killed, and nobody ever got arrested. Nobody ever got questioned, charged, anything. And in fact, they made like it never happened. People who lived there for years after that never heard about it in the history books. It was people who lived there in Tulsa when they were told about it, said, "You got to be kidding! That never happened here. Didn't happen here."
Where's the restitution?
Yeah. And so
Still waiting.
right, and so I segued there because that's a scary or eerie connection between the two, between Juneteenth, the celebration, and the Tulsa massacre. That's crazy how things in history could tie themselves together, and we don't get opportunity to even know about it because it ain't in the history books.
Right. That's why it's being taught now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And so on a lighter note, yesterday, for those who aren't aware, yesterday the Senate, U.S. Senate of all people,
Mm-hmm.
voted unanimously for a resolution to make establish Juneteenth as a national Independence Day.
Yeah, federal holiday.
Yeah, U.S. holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. It actually commemorates the end of slavery, and it's gone to the House for passage, and then it'll go to President Biden's desk for signature. So it's amazing that the Senate, of all entities, voted unanimously to pass it.
I'm trying to think of the one guy that blocked it. Was it last year or the year?
Last
He
year,
just kept-
yeah, kept blocking it.
That Ron Johnson of Wisconsin,
Yes,
kept-
Senator Ron Johnson
right.
of
He
Wisconsin.
blocked it in 2020, but they say he blocked. He said he dropped his opposition not because he changed his mind, but
Right.
because he felt his fellow senators were sick of talking about it.
Yeah. How about that?
Like, oh,
I just got to keep stuff in my mouth.
yeah. Oh,
Right.
well, that's what
Dang.
it takes, huh?
What it
Tired of
takes.
Hearing about it. Oh, okay.
We tired of it, and you know you're tired of it, and you know that you ain't got enough votes to stop it from happening.
Mhm.
So you might well have your
Think you
name
would, yep.
right. So you might well get your name on the right side of history.
That's right.
It is what he's probably doing.
Yeah, but like you said, this legislation gained momentum because of the Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah.
That the killing of George Floyd.
Yeah.
So it's like their hands is being forced.
Right. It's amazing that we always talk about where God places you, and I'm sure George Floyd never thought that by going to that store and getting involved in this, all the stuff that has come about behind it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure his family, even in their sorrow.
Right. While it doesn't bring them back, the
Mm-hmm.
moment you take to be like, wow.
I
Yeah.
know. It's just you just never know how the Lord will work.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
one
just
thing
go
for sure.
like
No.
that.
Right. Right. One thing for sure. If one of my loved ones got to go, at least let them be remembered as for something good and not for something
100%.
bad.
Spark something good.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. So now we got Juneteenth, and everybody know Juneteenth is this Saturday,
Mhm.
19th, and there are celebrations galore. Now, let me just say this: I can't tell you where they at,
All of them.
but there's a whole
Ain't gonna
bunch
have
of them.
all of them on that paper.
Right.
We know that Avenue of Fashion. in
Avenue of
Illinois.
Fashion, they doing some stuff down there on Livernois between 7 and 8 Mile on Saturday.
Yes, they are.
Right, to commemorate, and remember, a lot of the stuff that's commemorating Juneteenth is more about what's the word I'm looking for? Commercialism, and not necessarily about
This is true.
what it means. But I will say this: I had the opportunity years ago. Friends of mine, they have an organization called Juneteenth in Michigan, and every year they do a golf outing to raise money to donate the funds to charity. And so one year, years ago, I had the opportunity to speak on Mason's radio show about Juneteenth, and talk about what it really means. Really what my interpretation of it was. We talked about the history of it, but what it means. And Juneteenth, because when they came down to Texas, it's 2 years later. Everybody else been free, and you still been serving in slavery. So now when they come tell you the good news that everybody else got 2 years ago, you got two choices. You be mad,
Or you can
or,
just join on in.
or you can just join the celebration.
Yep.
And I think that what makes this Juneteenth thing has gotten as big as it has is because they chose to celebrate the victory. No matter how late it came, they still chose to celebrate it.
And equally as much as any other, celebration
Yes.
Right.
that, we've done. And I
Yeah.
think for some people, because either their ignorance or lack of knowledge, whatever you want to call it, has been almost a slap in the face that they like, well, why y'all doing all that for that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, oh, stand by. Let me help you understand.
Right. Exactly.
Y'all celebrating on June 19th and the 4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Stand by.
Exactly.
Let me help you.
Yeah. Right. Cause 4th of July don't really, if you really stop it don't really mean nothing. Cause when they said we were free on the 4th of July, we wasn't free.
Ain't applied to now.
Now one of us, not at all.
Yeah.
Y'all were free. We still in slavery. And we go back to the negative. But one of the things that came out of this for me is that I used to tell people that the two most oppressed people in this country are Native Americans and African Americans. But history shows us that it ain't nowhere near equal. The African Americans are the most oppressed and probably despised people in this country.
Yeah.
And actually,
I agree.
as a whole, we're the only people who didn't choose to come here. So you went and got me out of my house, drugged me over to your hood, and now you mad at me?
Mad. Happy here.
Yeah.
That whew, the
And I
nerve.
made you wealthy.
Right.
What do they say? The audacity.
Yeah.
The audacity.
The
for me.
You got the audacity to be mad? You should love me. So the good news is that we have this example in Juneteenth to try to focus on the good that we have.
Essentially,
Yeah, we got something good.
Mhm.
What you think? You got that look on your face. You got to put
I'm
something in your mouth.
just. It's just so hard to get over all this stuff, but
Yeah.
we do just have to love. You know
And
what I'm saying?
It's crazy that, I think about not even just this, but other things where we're African Americans are in spaces where we just kind of have to get over it and deal and,
Get over it.
make do.
Right.
And other people,
Don't.
they don't have that. That's not nothing for them.
Right.
I think when I'm in meetings and different places, I have to be this, and everybody can be themselves, but I, at the end of the day, can't just let my hair down like some people can
Yes.
let their hair down,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
People can in this meeting curse 5 times, as leadership, but let me say one half of a word that's like off-putting,
Oh,
and
why not?
everybody looking at me. So just
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
how we
It's
just had to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like you said, make the best of it, and that's what we've done. And I'm particularly, proud of my generation and those coming behind us that we are making it a big deal. Like, that's right,
Yes.
keep making it a big deal.
Keep making it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they give it to you off work, take it off. If they don't give it to you when you're in a position to call off if it's a day of work. Make those stances in the spaces where we can, and we just kind of have to move in that way.
Right. Right.
Wonderful.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said. Well spoken.
Yeah. Because it ain't for us. and they don't want it to be for us. It's crazy. Hey, Sonia, you still out there? How you doing?
Yes.
Yeah, and again, if anybody, if you're out there listening, watching, go ahead and drop us a line, and we'll be happy to address any questions, any concerns, or any comments that you have.
If you know events that's coming up, if you're working with an organization or putting on an event, put it in there. We'll share it. It'll be seen.
Right. Yeah, and another thing, after they did all that, 13th Amendment, the 13th Amendment was ratified December 18th, 1865. Okay, well, that's when it was announced. Now, listen to this. The freedom of formerly enslaved people in Texas was given final legal status in a series of Supreme Court decisions between 1868 and 1874. So still a full 9 years later, when the Supreme Court get into the picture, when they finally, right, the folks finally started getting some sort of legal standing. You remember he told them,
And I believe
stay
it was
where
a lot
you
of
at.
pushback. So you're right. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Remember the
fight-
general,
fight the whole way.
right? General said, stay where you at. Keep doing what you was doing. But you free. And sometimes, and that's another point. Sometimes freedom don't seem free. If nothing around you changes, except somebody told you free.
What determines my freedom?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, I gotta find.
Right.
Okay.
Ooh, I feel free. Yesterday I didn't feel free, but I feel free today.
Well, like you said, look how long it's been, and are we still free?
Nah, you opening up a different can.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
But facts indeed. Facts indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. And check this out. They said early independence. They said when they first started doing this, they were holding political rallies to give voting instructions to newly freed slaves. And the early celebrations often occurred on January 1st or January 4th. In some cities, black people were barred by Democrats. And don't get it twisted, the Democratic Party back then is the Republican Party now.
Right now.
So don't get it twisted. It ain't the same party. I just want to put that out there for somebody say, I told you them Democrats ain't no good. Yeah. But they were barred from using public parks because of state-sponsored segregation of facilities. And so it said across parts of Texas, some freed people pooled their funds to purchase land to hold their celebrations. The day was first.
Savers back then.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that these folks had money to do this stuff.
Couldn't buy none.
Yeah, they say the first day was celebrated in Austin, Texas in 1867 under the auspices of the Freedmen's Bureau. And it had been listed on a calendar of public events by 1872. That year, black leaders in Texas raised $1,000 for the purchase of 10 acres of land to celebrate Juneteenth, today known as Houston's Emancipation Park.
And $1,000 back then.
It was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
Especially when folks that were slaves.
You had to do the whole plantation and the next two plantations.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know what? We persevered though. We
Right.
persevered.
Yeah. So we free, right?
Hmm.
We free.
Free-ish.
Yeah. From 1890 to 1908, Texas and all former Confederate states passed new constitutions or amendments that effectively disenfranchised black people, excluding them from the political process. White dominated state legislatures passed Jim Crow laws imposing second class status.
Second class
Here comes that, right?
Right. And
I'm feeding you, keeping you healthy.
yeah, and
I'm
this how
making
you
you
thank me.
wealthy.
This how you thank me. And then the author Gladys L. Knight, not to be confused with singer Gladys Knight, wrote that the decline in celebration was in part because upperly mobile blacks, you put in whatever you want to put right there, were ashamed of their slave past and aspired to assimilate into mainstream culture. Mm, mm, mm. And that's the other thing. You know, that's what gets us in trouble more than anything else. Is that we want to be included so much
Everywhere.
in mainstream society that we forget who we are. And so we are more than ready to give up what we have to take on what they'll give us.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Adopt this and adopt that.
Right.
You know, just to fit.
exactly. And so that's another reason why Juneteenth becomes important, because Juneteenth is wholly ours. And so
With everybody, I got shirts and stuff everywhere, but be unapologetic.
Jetty.
Be black.
That's the word. Unapologetic.
Yeah.
I heard that
Black
word
self.
so many times this
Your
week.
beautiful black self.
yeah. You see my shirt, free-ish since 1865. And
I was like, is this making this a holiday gonna really recognize the wrongs of the past?
well, they hope, they probably hope, some folks hope that we'll be so busy
Excited 'em.
busy having picnics and barbecues
Mm-hmm.
that we'll forget about what it's really about.
Mhm.
And so that's why, even though it's good that we got a lot of wokish people now, a lot of young people, and I give all due credit to them, who see the era of the past
Yeah.
and want to make things right because they understand that regardless of what some people said a couple hundred years ago, all people are still equal.
Mhm.
And so they see the wrongdoings, and they wanna do their
They
part to
wanna correct it,
fix it. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So the best way we can help, we can honor them for their work, is to be unapologetically black.
Unapologetic.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the struggle that we have, and it's a whole lot of other things we got going on here. In the late 1970s, Texas declared Juneteenth a holiday of significance, particularly to the blacks of Texas, and it became the first state to establish Juneteenth as a state holiday.
Mhm.
It passed in 1979 and was officially made a state holiday.
1980.
So thank you, Texas, on January 1st, 1980.
1980.
Thank you,
Mhm.
Texas. I forget when we did ours, Jennifer Granholm was the governor, and she made it a holiday here in Michigan. But she kind of did it a little bit wrong, just a little bit wrong. I mean, I guess she did what she could get away with. She made Juneteenth the third Saturday in June.
So it just could fall on any
Any day, just that third Saturday.
third on Thursday.
Right. And so then that becomes not a lot of value. 'Cause black folks don't believe it's a holiday if they can't get the day off work.
Get the day
Right.
off work, and if I can't be paid, this is what I'm saying. Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
This is what solidifies.
That's how you right or wrong.
Yeah. This is what makes the difference.
Right.
Unless
All that working we had to do when we was still enslaved. No.
you
Yeah.
can't give us one little day.
One little day, one
Right.
day.
Right. Oh, and I'll tell you what it was. My man from Wisconsin, part of his objection to it
Yeah.
was that federal workers was going to get the day off paid, and he thought that was a waste of taxpayer
How
money.
dare we?
Yeah, to let federal workers be off work and get paid for it.
Put something in my mouth again.
They got enough holidays.
Here's my thing. So, for those who have a problem with it or don't quite understand it, if it does become, a federally recognized holiday or whatever, ensure that you volunteer to work on that day if your business is open and running. Okay, don't you take the day off now. Don't
Right.
you dare.
Right, right.
You go in to work and work, okay? I don't want to offend you on my day off. On my celebrations. You go on in to work and
Exactly. Exactly.
if your company is open,
Woo, go ahead.
go on in there.
Yeah.
You put your name at the top of the list. You pick any other one of them holidays that's coming up, but that one you be sure to be on time and accounted for.
Yeah. 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 It's,
I hear you. I hear you.
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that people always come up with these reasons, and they want to always say that it's a financial thing. But you're the same guy who 2/3 of the year, well, actually it ain't 2/3 of the year, but it's a third of the year at least, that you ain't at work.
Barely there.
Business got to be done. Senate ain't in session.
Somebody else. Yeah.
Senate ain't in session. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll address that when we come back.
Get it done before we leaving, cause I don't care what else going on, we going.
Right. Ooh, ain't no budget.
We'll look at
Okay.
it when we come
We
back.
look at it when we come back. I
No
got it.
stimulus. We'll get on that when we come
When
back.
we come back, I got a picnic to go
Oh, don't
to.
even mention that. Yeah.
All of
My people.
All of them tanned. Every last one of them.
Right. Yeah. So, oh, and you're like this. In 1996, the first legislation to recognize Juneteenth Independence Day was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives, H.J. Resolution 195, sponsored by Barbara Rose Collins of Detroit.
All right. Shout out to Barbara Rose Collins.
nice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was so, and it says that Congress in the 1997, Congress recognized the day through Senate Joint Resolution 11 and House Joint Resolution 56. In 2013, the U.S. Senate passed State Resolution 175, acknowledging Lula Briggs Galloway, the late president of the National Association of Juneteenth Lineage, who successfully worked to bring national recognition to Juneteenth Independence Day and the continued leadership of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. So that was good. I mean, it gathered the steam, and then finally, here we are in 2021. A mere 26 years later. a mere 26 years later.
26.
Yeah, and I think I see Harper. I think I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think I do. They said in 2020, state governors in Virginia, New York, and New Jersey signed executive order recognizing Juneteenth as a paid day of leave for state employees. All right, shout out to Virginia, New York, and New Jersey. Yeah. Right. So, you know,
northern states.
well, Virginia is on the border.
Yeah, but we got still New York, New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh,
That's north to me. When we ain't talking about south, I'm
well, we ain't going to be.
right.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah, you know how they are. So you remember I said Kentucky was one of the last states to get rid of the slaves. Him and that other one in the north. But anyway, so that I thought we bring some information about Juneteenth to our listeners, just so that anybody wants to be abreast of this information, it could happen. And if you really want to know more about it, I think I would advise you that this week and this weekend, go to some Juneteenth celebrations, but try to find ones that are dispensing information about Juneteenth, not just trying to sell you a T-shirt.
Celebrate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Some memorabilia.
That's right. Even though we do have our Juneteenth T-shirts on,
Mm-hmm.
because we gonna help our small black businesses.
That's right.
We gonna do that, but we also want
Be
information,
educated.
be educated. Yeah,
Yes.
and all that we do be
You want to,
educated.
like you said, none of this, the bill is about to be passed for it to become a federal holiday. And this is just something that we won't forget.
Yeah.
It'll be something that everybody will not forget.
Yeah, where were you when they signed that bill?
Right.
Dude.
Right.
Like my mother used to say, you wasn't even thought of. You were not in the plan.
right. So
Oh,
that's Juneteenth in a nutshell.
but that is very. Well, thank you, honey. That was very informative.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so,
Because, like you said, I knew it was the abolishment of slavery, but like you said, I didn't know I thought we did it instead of just said it, and they gave, Lincoln all this.
mm-hmm.
Pats on the back and all that, and I was like, here we are in 2021. And
Be
Right.
free with these rules. Is what I got from that.
Yeah,
Be free with these rules.
yeah.
like you said, I'm tired of the oppression. It's just.
Yeah, and it's funny because Congress.
And we still making you wealthy.
Oh, filthy rich.
All day long.
Filthy rich.
That black.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
I mean, and we still can't buy respect. We can't buy,
Oh, you
know what I'm
can't buy
saying? We just
respect.
can't buy nothing.
Respect ain't for purchase.
Nope.
But but I will say this though. I guess it's worth mentioning that what's her name? Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
What her name is? Cause you got a whole new last name.
I'm gonna find it. Stand by.
Yeah. She
Mackenzie. What is that? name?
Mackenzie Smith.
No, it's not Smith.
Not Smith.
Mm-mm.
Cause we just saw it.
I know.
Scott.
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 Mackenzie Scott. New start with S.
I know it was
She
Mackenzie.
just donated $25 million to the expansion of the Motown Museum.
$5 million to them.
Was it $5 million?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But-
Oh, I'm putting on the spot. It was only $5 million that they got.
Yeah. It was only $5 million. But she expanded all the rest of it to a lot of other organizations.
Yeah, she did right. She did a big mass donation to stuff across the country, but
It's some
Motown Museum,
billions.
yeah, Motown Museum got some of that
2.7
money,
billion.
Yeah.
right, in total
Some billions.
donation. So shout out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that ain't nothing to sneeze. I don't care how much money you got. $5 million ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, that's money.
Yeah.
Give me 10% of it.
I can see us going in there next year.
That's some money.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And so that's good. You got anything you want to talk about Juneteenth? Or we do a couple of shout outs and then we get on out of here?
Yeah, just some shout outs and, all the people for listening, especially our producer.
Right. Yeah, Brandon, I thank you because I made the mistake of me and Brandon had this conversation in passing and I thought I took that as gospel.
Let's see if they're going to wake Biden up in the middle of the night to sign this bill.
Biden over there arguing with Putin.
I know, but I'm just
He arguing
saying,
with Putin.
it'll be on his desk.
How important is it to them, right?
Right, that's right. But
Really
right,
important.
but shout out to the class of 2021.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all can say y'all was the first class after the pandemic to have a semi-normal graduation and
Yes.
prom.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Prime,
yes.
All
yeah,
that.
It was so good to see this year.
Right. So shout out to all you, all my little cousins and their families who are graduating today. All right, take that next big step. Right.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's a good deal. And just make sure that you keep on supporting these young people in their endeavors. Brandon, you got anything about you want to shout out?
No, you can check out Heard Our Story 101 podcast on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Google. We're there. We should be hopping back into another episode Friday, probably. It just be so nice outside. It's just so hard to sit
I
down
know.
in front of this microphone sometimes.
Right.
What about now? Look.
That's right.
If y'all had said no,
Yeah.
I was on my way out the door.
I know, because like
Don't
you
know where I
said,
was going, but
That's what all our listeners are saying. We'll catch them on the back end.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Look, I can Google Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. But
Yes,
we
you can.
definitely
We
wanted to.
appreciate your listeners.
We wanted to push it forward, so like you said, that you would recognize it.
Right.
Because we'll still go into the weekend. We be like, Juneteenth, what was that?
Yeah.
You
And-
know,
Barbecue?
it's a lot.
Oh, okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, right. Like we should have
Uh-huh.
said barbecue, free barbecue. And also, we are 1 month away from our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, coming up soon.
Really?
Quickly, fast approaching. Yeah.
Yeah, we did our
July.
first. Did we do our first show on the 16th of July? We actually did it. It's July 16th.
Oh, yeah, that may be. I think I always look at the date it was published on
Mhm.
Buzzsprouts, and that's different.
What's the date on
Yeah, it looks
Buzzsprout?
the same. If he gonna have me,
I
I'm
just,
gonna memorize it by now.
Yeah.
No, I wanna just put it out there so we can. It's July 22nd.
That was when we recorded it.
That's when we recorded on Wednesday, July 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, but I am excited about making Juneteenth a federal holiday. I really am, because I do think it's a major step forward.
Right.
Yes. Essential.
Mhm.
Tanisha.
Shout out to
I
Niece.
know.
What's her
Cooking down.
It's- Yeah, no, it's a cool name for her business though. It has like her grandfather and grandmother's names.
Right. Tanisha, you still listening? Because she just shared the podcast.
Oh,
what's
really?
what's the name of your business? Throw it in there for me real quick. Somebody, if one of y'all listening, throw a name in there real quick so we give her a shout out. Because she did these shirts we
Yes,
wearing.
you did. Thank you,
For Jack.
Tanika.
For Jack.
For
James
Jack.
and Crystal Kuykendall.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I know that. But yeah, it fits perfectly.
Yes.
Looks good
Looks
on.
good.
Yeah, she posted, learn more about Juneteenth. The hosts have on some amazing shirts. If I must say so myself.
I must say, look at my eyelashes.
And you must say so.
My first pair of eyelashes.
Yeah.
My first eyelash.
But I'll say this though. She
It's beautiful.
Right, when I first saw the shirt, she was posting that she had these shirts that she had done and she was trying to sell them and she had put it out there, just threw it out there with no real intention of pushing them. And I think from that
On the
post,
post alone,
she sold. Yeah, I don't know how many people actually bought them, but I know it was a lot of commitments, a lot of interest in it from that post.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, them hot."
Right,
But I had already, got another one. But there's
Right.
always time to wear shirts.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Cause
Hitting you up.
because she got a few designs. These
Yeah.
these
They
were
were
the two
really
that we
beautiful.
like.
And they were
Yeah.
nice.
They're very nice. So I
I
wish
definitely love
if she out there, put your link in the thing, so we can push that out there. But yeah, shout out.
Y'all make sure y'all get out, step out, and shop at these black businesses. That's
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah, that's important. We need to make buy black a way of life,
Mm-hmm.
and not a once in a life, and not
Yeah,
a once
just
in a year
support
thing.
all things black.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? We've supported others long enough.
Yeah, right.
And even when they mess up, we go back.
We go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Support and give them another chance.
Yes, we
Well,
do.
cause we get
Yes,
other
we
folks
do.
another chance.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
we
what
do.
I'm saying. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we get them another chance.
We get them another
So,
chance. We
I
give
know.
our people one shot.
And the Lord just said, forgive, and keep it moving.
Yeah, help them. We can work with them to
Yeah.
make it better. Also, shout out to Hassan Watkins,
Oh yeah.
Wow.
creator of our theme music for
Yes,
both
yes,
seasons, and
I
he got
love it, I
and he
love
has
it.
some other stuff in the works as well. Shout out Hassan.
Yeah.
I like End of the Day,
Mm.
and his music available on all the download sites. So check him out. Check him out by purchasing a copy of his music. End of the Day by Hassan. And look, I can't think of another name of I can't think of the name of a song now. All night,
Oh, yeah.
all night long. Yeah, so that was our first 2-season theme song.
Yeah, not only that, shout out to all our guests. We had some wonderful
Had
and
some wonderful guests.
exciting
Yeah.
guests that are doing things and just living exciting lives. It was just,
Right.
it was amazing.
And also, in 2 weeks, if we got to nail down for sure, I believe it's 2 weeks, we're going to have Lakia Wilson back on. She's the vice president of Detroit Teachers Association. She was on earlier last year, and gave us an update on the COVID situation in the schools and how they were going about handling it and that sort of thing. So I asked her, was she ready to come back on to give us an update, how the school year went and what they see moving forward. So we're going to have her on in a couple weeks to give us that update.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so be ready for that. And
I know it's been an exciting year though.
it has been. It
I'm
has
telling
been.
you. Well, we got a year coming up.
Right. Oh, I know the other thing. The governor, she was, remember July 1st was the deadline, was the metric date for
Open
when
it up.
all the right open up the state when all the stuff was supposed to expire on July
Mhm.
1st. Well, the word on the street, and since it's just us here talking,
Mm-hmm.
is that's going to come sooner than later, like probably as soon as tomorrow, when she's going to announce some changes in the restrictions, because the numbers have been steadily going down. So
Awesome.
be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
Those who don't watch the news.
Would you say you? I know a lot of young people don't watch the news. I know that.
Yeah, right, right.
I stick around for like CNN when it pops up on my phone and different stuff like that. But other than that, unless it comes, or if I'm watching live TV, right, and it rolls in
Rolls
after
in.
a show go off, then I hang around. But I ain't tuning in. Haven't tuned into the news in a long time.
Yeah, well,
Very long
You
time.
know, well, it's our generation that keep you guys informed.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
and,
you so much. And the links and social media news
Yes.
pages
Right.
that they have, active news pages.
Right.
So
Yes.
that helps
yeah, cause
Correct.
keeping up with the times because they know we ain't.
yeah, well, somebody got to keep it because they'll try to slip something past us.
Real easily, and we
Yeah,
Yeah.
believe it. Grown
We
people
just
get a
nosy.
hold of it.
right.
Catch
We
you,
just
gonna click
nosy.
Alrighty then. We had on the first show we asked you about things your mother never told you, didn't
it. I think.
we? I think
I
all
think
of us.
we
I
all
think all of
did.
us answered that
Yeah.
question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
yes.
sure.
Okay. You ain't changed your mind, have you? What you thought? What she never told you?
I
Yeah.
I do. My mama ain't never told me that after a while that I was gonna become the parent. That I
Oh,
was
that,
gonna have to do the parents.
Ooh.
cause
Sit
Well,
down now, little Shirley.
she probably didn't think that was going to go like that.
Uh-uh.
Cause we were young, so we didn't think about that either.
But I enjoy it. I must say, talking to my friends and people around me who are like parents are getting older and or have older parents. My dad turned 80 on the second. My mom's
Yeah.
birthday is tomorrow, so
Tomorrow.
happy birthday to you.
Right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Happy birthday to Essie too. I know she tunes into the music shows when Carlos baby used to come on too. So shout out to you. Birthday, she'll be 62 tomorrow, and I'm just like, whew, when did this happen?
Yeah.
I know.
The same way we was growing up.
Yeah, well, we were saying that how time does go by fast. Cause I'm like you, I done took on my mother's age. I remember when my mother was my age. I'm like, really?
Hmm.
Y'all growing up on me too fast.
We growing up on you.
But I
Well,
enjoy
like
every
it's-
bit.
Right. Right.
Thank you. I thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we loved y'all well.
right. And that's the only way we doing this. That's the only way I know that we are able to do this. 'Cause I know some people that have been like, put them in a home. Keep 'em off. The moment you show any sign, you remember what today is? Let me quiz you real quick. The moment you don't,
You're right. You out of here.
out of here. 3 strikes and you out of here.
Mm-mm.
So,
So y'all heard that, right? So make sure you always know what day it is.
because you will be tested.
Right. As soon as you know what day it is, write it down on something. Something you can get to real quick.
Yeah.
Cause they waiting to put you away. Right.
Yeah.
So So hey, we made it. Right.
We made it.
And we can only pray to make it as well.
Make it right.
Get there.
So once again, 1 year anniversary coming up, a month in a week or so, and we got to plan something.
I was
For
about to say we gotta drum up something real.
we got to drum up something
special.
real special. Yeah.
Oh
For
yeah.
anniversary. Yeah,
I
that'd be
know.
that'd
That
be
sounds
good.
really good.
Right. Right. But those who out there listening now, and
We do
those who,
have a few surprises coming though.
yeah, we do, and those who plan to listen later, we appreciate your patronage. You keep us going,
Yes, you do.
even though some of us like to talk a little bit, but we only do it because we could just talk to each other. We do it because we the feedback we get from you guys.
Thank you for loving on us.
Right, right, and the numbers are steadily rising on the downloads on the podcast site. Facebook is going down. We understand that, but the podcast sites, the numbers are going up
Yes.
steadily. So
Mm-hmm.
we
So
appreciate,
people are listening.
yeah, and we appreciate all our guests. And as always, if you got somebody who you think is a worthy guest on the show, drop us a line, and we'll be sure. Let us know. You can go to my website, any of my sites, Facebook pages, or email me at Trey Trey at Comcast.net or drdixon33 at gmail.com.
All right.
Brandis, you good?
I'm good. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
All right. Enjoy Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, go out and make a difference.
Yes.
Take a young person under your wing and teach them something.
Have a good one.
Have a
All
good
right,
one. We out of
bye-bye.
here. Peace.